Hi. It has been a minute since I've done one of these videos. We've been really wrapped up, if you've seen on Instagram, in this IVF process, which is so exciting and all the feels. But today I felt a little inspired to get on here and to talk about something that's on my heart that I care a lot about. So today's topic for our video is, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding in your life? So for me, the first thing I think of is like small things. We have small things and big things we avoid in life, right? So like small things could be, I'm avoiding texting a few people back right now. It's not that I don't love them or care about them. If you're saying this, it's not that I don't love you or care about you, but I'm avoiding that. I'm avoiding folding some laundry that I haven't done yet. I'm avoiding taking the trash out. But I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about like the real things we avoid in life, right? The self-hate, the thoughts that stream through our head that are not unkind, mortality, grieving, the hard conversation, the reality that the relationship we're in isn't working, the need to make a switch or walk away from a friendship. I think of the silence, avoiding the silence, these lies that we tell ourselves, right? So like the real meat and potatoes of what we're avoiding in our life. The things that I think make us feel afraid or like uncomfortable, or we're scared they're gonna affect somebody else or they may hurt someone else. And what's interesting is like the reason I care so much about this is I used to be a really good avoider. I was a master avoider, I would say. I would make my schedule completely packed 24/7. Work, go see friends after, do this, keep doing. So I'm so exhausted, and by the time I go to bed at night, I'm too tired to have to be alone in my head and address realities. Other things I would do would be like stimulation stuff. So like rev myself up in the morning with some coffee and caffeine, chill myself out with some wine or whatever that would be. Because I didn't want to be honest with myself and have alone time in my head. I didn't want to think about those things. Another thing I think about is when asked how I was doing, I would almost like overly emphasize how good I was. People are like, oh, Celeste, how are you doing? I am so great. Thank you for asking. Like, everything is just going well. Here are all these accolades and things I'm doing so that I should be approved by you. And these are all the reasons I have to be grateful. I was almost like overly selling this idea of like life is good. And what I was avoiding, everybody's different, but at the time what I was avoiding was getting the help I needed for my mental health. It was like avoiding the fact that like, Celeste, you need help with your mental health. You need help. You need to get help. So though all those things did like a decent job of covering it up, what I was avoiding, what it makes me think of is Brendon Burchard's quote that I actually wrote down, my sticky note, is avoiding is the best short-term strategy to escape conflict and the best long-term strategy to ensure suffering. So this is real stuff. And what I want to kind of offer for you is like sit down and think about what you're avoiding, because it will change the outcome of your life. Like what happens before your last breath, before you transition, that will change if you address these things. And though it may be uncomfortable and painful initially, typically it's almost like a metamorphosis where you get to fly and come back to who you have always wanted to be and who you were born as and who you'll die as, whatever. You get what I mean? So yeah, just ask you to ask yourself what you're avoiding and notice what creeps up into your mind in those moments of silence in the shower, when you go to bed at night and you can't sleep. Just like pay attention to that and walk into it. Joseph Campbell says, the cave we fear to enter holds the treasure we seek. Don't be afraid to enter the cave. Or if you are afraid, that's okay, but still enter it. And one more little analogy I kind of think about with this is our cell phones. I'm recording this on a phone right now, right? We get reminders all the time on our phone, like 10% battery, 10% battery. And we know that if we don't do something about it, it's gonna die. And guess what? Most of us are like, oh crap, my phone's gonna die. Does anyone have a charger? It's really important for us not to happen. Well, guess what? Your body, your mind, your heart, it gives you reminders. All bodies are similar, but they give you reminders. Just like your cell phone. Pay attention, Celeste. I'm trying to tell you something, pay attention. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? What are you avoiding? Try not to make rationalizations around, I've always been this way. This is what life as an adult is. I signed up for this. Now's not the right time. I don't have the money. We can make a million different excuses. And excuses isn't my favorite word. We can have a million different reasons as to why we don't want to walk into that cave. And I'm telling you, walk into the cave. You'll be happy you did. So that is my offering. I won't see you on here in this form, in a video form for a while probably, because my 100% priority right now is the journey to starting my family with Colton. So maybe it'll be like a few weeks. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you. Namaste.